So we were able to very clearly understand that we have achieved our objectives. Some similar damage was done all the other 7 targets of the army. We had the pictures very clear. We had the videos from here and there. We had all intelligence reports. So when we were confident that we've been able to address what we wanted to address, a message was sent to their DGMO, through our DGMO, Director General Military Operations, that we don't mean to have anything to do with the military, in the sense our objective was only to strike the terrorist targets, to take the revenge of this, what they have done to us. And we have no military aspirations, no intent to attack any military targets. So we can call it off here. But they, unfortunately, did not agree. They said, no, we will take a call. आपने हमें मारा है, अब हम मारेंगे, फिर देखेंगे, फिर बात करेंगे. These are kind of words they spoke. So we continued to be cautious. We knew they will do something. So that 7th, 8th night, if I can call it, 8th, 9th night, those 2 nights we had a lot of loiter munitions, drones, small scale weapons, some drones which were basically to saturate our systems at many of our airfields and many of the army installations that were spotted. Of course, that created a little bit of panic in the public around. The public around started spotting even low Earth orbit satellites and reporting them as drones. So the number of drones multiplied. Just imagine if there's a LEO satellite, let's say 4 or 5 of them, which are being spotted in one part of the city. For them, it will appear it is towards the east, and that chap reports, I see 4 towards my east, or very close to me towards this direction, or right over me, or something like that. And same thing is reported by 5 more people in the same city, from different corners, because it's like everybody reporting, I've got 1 sun in my area, and we keep adding and say, oh, there are so many suns over there today. So that is what happened that night, those 2 nights. So a lot of reports that we got were even these reports, and it was becoming very difficult to filter out. But our local commanders did exceptionally well. They were able to take charge of the situation, and many of the actual ones were neutralized using our own anti-drone systems, using our own even anti-aircraft guns were used to neutralize some of those drones which came over us. And what happened was many of them were not weaponized, because when we realized that they were actually, either they were doing some kind of a survey, or they wanted to saturate our system so that we can open our air defenses, open up our radars, and they can get some alert from us. There were few of them which were weaponized, and our anti-drone systems really worked very well, and we were able to get rid of, we were able to survive those attacks without a single damage to our any of the installations. And in response, we also sent our loiter munitions to some of their radar targets or SAGW targets which were close to our bases, close to our border. And we did achieve some success in that. Some of them, of course, were sending videos back to us, so we could get that, the result immediately. Some of them, of course, we had to wait for our satellite imagery to come in. So we did achieve some success in that, and we kept ourselves very calibrated. We did not want to escalate unnecessarily, because for us, the immediate, the Operation Sindoor, the objectives were to take care of terrorist camps and terrorist infrastructure, and that was taken care of. So here is one of the videos that we have of a radar being attacked by one of our loiter munitions. This is the control cabin, which is the which has been attacked. I've cut it short a bit because after this it goes into where the system can be seen, which system we are operating, which I want to not give out in open. Some of the pictures of other radars, Arifwala, here after the radar attack, you can see there are soot marks here. Again, not very clear to a layman, but the specialists, when they analyze these pictures, they tell us what exactly the damage has been, and it can be blown up in our own system. Similarly, Chunia radar, there's another radar head which has been burnt. So once this was over, we got an intelligence report on the ninth evening, I will say, that they are planning something big. And next 48 hours are very critical. And also, we also decided that if they attack any of our installations, military installations, we are going to reply with military, attacking their military installations, which matter to them. So since we already had our plans ready, this point was debated, and both the CNCs involved, the air headquarters people, and the other services, we had taken a call that since they are mostly attacking us by Air Force assets and my Air Force bases are under threat, we should respond without waiting, in case this continues tonight also. And sure enough, this time we had their attack on our airfields with not only just loiter munitions, some of long-range weapons. Their aircraft tried to penetrate our defenses. Our air defense systems have done a wonderful job. The S-400 system, which we had recently bought, has been a game changer. The range of that system has really kept their aircraft away from their weapons like, those long-range glide bombs that they have. They have not been able to use any one of those because they have not been able to penetrate this system. And during our first night, sixth, seventh night, also air defense system had ensured that when they did their repost, their fighter aircraft was threatened. That time they had come with some of those long-range weapons which they were able to penetrate into our defenses in Balakot time, if you remember. Some of the army, some of the bombs had fallen very close to army area. But this time, since we were ready to use our long-range weapons of surface-to-air guided weapons, they were deterred. I think initially we found the build-up taking place, very massive build-up taking place, but once the first missile was fired from our side from the ground, we suddenly found that that dissipation of that build-up. Also, we have some kills that we have got from our SAGW systems, because every time you fire a weapon on a track, you do get a feedback as to whether it is to be treated as a kill or not, because till when is that blip remaining and where is your missile going. So that I will talk about a little later. So 9th, 10th night again, a large number of their attacks on most of our airfields. The airfields like Adampur, Srinagar, Avantipur, they took the brunt of it actually. And many other airfields. From north to south, they tried to penetrate various classes of drones, including weaponized. We were able to neutralize most of their weapons by either countermeasures, some of them by using our air-to-air guns, as well as SAGWs. Systems like Akash and all have taken down many of their loiter munitions which have come in, the weaponized ones.
एक कहानी आस्था दी जद दरिया नूं समुंदर दा बुलावा आवे तां पत्थर राह नहीं रोक सकदे चल दिला उठ चलिए सानू भी आया है एक सद्दा शेरां वाली दा ओ जोर से बोलो जय माता दी प्रेम से बोलो जय माता दी ਉੱਚੀ बोलो
माता नूं कहना सानू भी बुलावे ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਭਵਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਗੁਣਗਾਨ ਕਰੀਏ ਸੁਰਗ ਵੀ ਬੋਲਣ ਜੈ ਮਾਤਾ ਦੀ ਮਾਤਾਵਾਂ ਬੋਲਣ
Idea was to give him that feeling or give him that indication that look, we can attack you deep inside at will wherever we want to. So some of the places that were attacked, like this is a command and control center at their Noor Khan base. This is the after attack and this is before attack. Rahim Yar Khan base. This is based on specific intelligence we had taken a call that here we have to attack the airfield. So the airfield was attacked, and their building, the main building where their planning goes on, which is also used as a civil terminal building also at times. As far as Sukur airfield is concerned, we attacked their UAV hangar and a radar site. You have the visuals available here. This is the hangar which has been flattened, and this is the radar site which is before and after. Bulari, again, an AEWC hangar was attacked, and here we have a very clear hint that there was an aircraft inside when this attack took place. Sargodha, we've grown up in our Air Force, dreaming about days like this. Someday we'll get a chance to go there. And so it just so happens that I got my chance just before I retired. So we attacked the airfield there because we had very hard hint on F-16s taking off from there, and the ones who were attacking us in Srinagar as well as in Adampur. So we took on the airfield there. Again, intentionally not taken on certain other installations in this airfield because of some kind of calculation by us that may lead to unnecessary escalation. And this is the last slide I have on this. That is Shahbaz, their Jacobabad airfield, one of them, again, a major airfield that was attacked. And here there's an F-16 hangar, which you can see here. And here, this is the photograph again from open source, from one of their earlier picture of the same hangar. And here, that hangar, which is one half of the hangar is gone. And I'm sure there were some aircraft inside which have got damaged there. So if I can just sum it up, what we were able to get there at least 2 command and control centers in like Murid and Chaklala that I have shown you one of the pictures. At least 6 radars. Some of them big, some of them small. 2 SAGW system, that is in Lahore and Okara. Then, of course, runway at Sargodha and Rahimia Khan. 3 hangars that we attacked. One was, of course, Sukur, the UAV hangar, the Bulari hangar of AEWNC, and Jacobabad, the F-16 hangar. And we have indication of at least 1 AEWNC in that AEWC hangar, and a few F-16s which were under maintenance there. Apart from these, the SAGW systems, mostly from, I'm talking about fighter aircraft are from S-400. We have at least 5 fighters confirmed kills and 1 large aircraft, which could be either an Elint aircraft or an AEWNC aircraft, which was taken on at a distance of about 300 kilometers. This is the actually largest ever recorded surface-to-air kill that we can talk about. And apart from, of course, this, there are a large number of UAVs, drones. There are some of their missiles which have fallen in our territory. We have recovered a lot of wreckage from these, which now is being studied so that we can make out what did they do, where were they launched from, what route did they follow, what kind of system do they have, whether they have, what I mean to say, what generation those systems belong to, what all features do they have. So that study is going on, and it is going on even in coordination with DRDO. If required, we will also take some other industries' help for that. So I can say that it was, more of high-tech war which was fought. In about 88, 90 hours of war, we were able to achieve, so much of damage to their system that it was very clear in their mind that in this current situation, if they continue, they are going to continue paying for it more and more. So they have come forward and sent a message again through DGMO कि हम बात करना चाहते हैं, and which was accepted from our side. And when I say our side, it's not just the Air Force, it's the joint decision that was taken, and it was taken even at the highest level. Why was that accepted? There have been a lot of debates which are going on. I will touch about it a little during continue in my talk. So that actually brings me to the end of my slides. Now, I want to talk about something like, if I can say, what were the reasons for success? One, which I can think of, is that there was political will. I'm being very, very candid here, very open here, because I hear various versions of it. I think if I tell you something, people will have to believe, because I was there listening to everybody, attending every meeting. There was very clear political will, very clear directions which were given to us, and there were no kind of restrictions which were put on it. Many people have spoken somewhere. Unfortunately, everybody is speaking about it. कि कुछ ना कुछ मैं बोल दूंगा इस बारे में. So there have been talks about, was there any restriction? Were you kept constrained? If there were any constraints, they were self-made. We, the forces, decided what will be our rules of engagement. We, the forces, decided what will be the escalation ladder that we want to ride on. We decided how we want to control the escalation. So I want to make it very clear. There were no, I repeat, no restrictions on us. Full freedom was given to us to plan and execute. I must say that, that our attacks have been calibrated because we wanted to be mature about it. A little bit on that I'll come to later. There was synchronization between forces. All four of us, CDS, the three chiefs. I must say here that the post of CDS has made a difference there. He was there always to get us together, discuss things out, iron things out. Wherever required, we all used to go to the senior leadership and discuss things out. NSA played a very, very big role, in getting all the other agencies and forces together. So there were so many meetings conducted, and whenever there was any doubt as to what next step. And most of the things that we did was before this event started, the Op Sindoor started, because we wanted to threadbare discuss what are the eventualities, what are the possible outcomes, what should be our reaction, how we should react. So when the operations were going on, it was just on telephone, some calls telling them what we are doing. There were not much of discussion going on, should we do this now, what do we do now, what do I do? No. I had the full freedom. And like I said, the way Air Headquarters team and the command headquarters, the way we worked together, it was actually a dream come true. So when that, these things were going on, the routine generally is very disturbed during that time, because you don't know when the meeting will come up. So I used to come home once a day, just quick change and go back and sit there. And I'd made some arrangement to even sleep in my own office. So that evening, one day when I had, we had gone for a night meeting, then I had gone in overall. And I continued to be in that overall for next 48 hours. I never had time to come back home because there was something or the other happening. So I didn't want to leave my office or the company for even 1 minute. And when I came back after those 48 hours, after having gone through that, where we had taken a call that, okay, now we stop hostilities, there was so much of sense of satisfaction. And most of it was actually from the way my Air Force had, stood up together. That is what gave me more satisfaction than what we had achieved. The way we achieved gave me satisfaction. Now, like Dr. Sunil has brought out, we keep talking about indigenization. Why do we talk about so much of, having indigenous sources, having things within India? The kind of support that we got from all DPSUs, and of course, HAL becomes a very big part of that because maximum support comes from them. I must compliment them. My people came and told me that at one call, things were moved. Wherever we needed anything, their teams were there. And they had pre-positioned some teams in anticipation. They had brought up some serviceability in anticipation. So this is how the nation has to come together if we have to fight a war. So these are the reasons that I thought were for our success. Now, what are the takeaways? I think the biggest takeaway of this operation has been that primacy of air power has come to forefront once again. People have come to realize that air power is the first responder that any country has, and air power is one which can actually, react in a quick time, attack deep inside, and attack with precision to just achieve your objectives without any collateral. And that is one thing which is good, that everybody has realized that. I can see the change when we meet, amongst the three services, the way we discuss things now. Because when obviously, if I am in blue, I will always talk about air power and air power and air power. But when it comes from a person in green uniform or a white uniform, you feel so nice that there is understanding that, it is intrinsic to all three services actually. Everybody needs this capability to be the first one. And I don't know when will we have a war where we'll be requiring to, straight away go in for a land attack or a naval attack. I think there will always be requirement to first soften them with air power, and that is what has been realized. And there was a worry in our mind that air power means you are going way above in the escalation ladder. Actually, it is wrong. This time we use only air power, and we've been able to start to stop the conflict in less than 4 days. So that is something which people have come to realize. I was in Riyadh, that Global Chiefs Conference. There is some conference which takes place before this air show in UK. So just about 2 weeks back I was there, and they had this conference where most of the Western chiefs and their representatives were speaking. They had some topics basically based on this current situation in the world and the conflicts that are going on. Not even a word was spoken about our conflict. They just discussed Russia-Ukraine war or the Israel-Iran war or Hamas-Israel war. They talked a lot about how to deter war, how to avoid war. Not even one talk about how to terminate a war. So I feel this part is being forgotten there, that conflict termination is a very, very important part of any conflict. We can't afford to be continuously at war. We are meant to deter, I agree. If we can deter, is nothing better than that. But if we are forced, if the war starts, whether it is, whose initiative, doesn't matter. We should be very clear that we have to reach a stage where we can terminate that, so that we can get on with our routine, get on with the progress of the nation. So that conflict termination criteria has been forgotten by people. I think when I was young, first thing that was taught to me, principles of war, selection and maintenance of aim. And people have just kept shifting their objectives and aims every now and then. People have got down to their egos in this world. And that is what is continuing, continuously driving the conflict which are going on. I think we set a very good example. Our objective was very clear. Our objective was to teach the terrorists a lesson that they will think twice before doing something, or they know what kind of price they can pay. And once we have achieved those objectives, we should look for all windows of opportunity to stop that, rather than just continue. We were actually on a song that night. I hear from so many people. I don't want to say that, but some people very close to me have said, "Aur marna tha." I'm telling you that. But Can we continue to be at war? No. Why should we be at war when we can avoid it or we can stop it? That is my way of looking at it. I think nation has taken a very, very good decision. And we were a part of that decision, but it was not, cannot be taken at our level. It has been taken at much higher level, but it was a good decision. Now we have to make sure that we remain steadfast that should we need to again do something, we are not found wanting. But what to do, that call will be taken at much higher level. Another takeaway that I see from here is, we've been talking a lot about drones. All the recent conflicts, drones have come into forefront, and somehow I think we should not be drawing a wrong lesson. I'm worried about that part. Drones